For those of us that live in the north and we get freezing temperatures in the wintertime, you know it's a sad day when you have to put your camper to sleep. That's what I'm going to show you how to do right now. Don't ever pay a dealer to do this, folks. If you bought your camper from a dealership, a lot of times they'll do a freebie anyway. I know Colton RV does. If you bought your camper from them, we did not. We bought ours at Salem RV, which is in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and we're not driving 5 hours to get this done for free. You probably have all the tools you need for the job already. So let me show you how to do it. Save yourself a lot of time and hassle and stress. Let's get to it. You're going to want to find your access panel to your hot water tank. Ours happens to be under the kitchen sink. Here's some pots and pans. But what you're going to do, there's a screw right here, holds it in place to the floor. Comes out really easy. It's one of the box head screws. Just about everything in the camper is held together by those things. So get rid of that. You'll see your hot water tank, and I'll show you in just a second. Once inside, everyone's going to look a little different here. It's always good to kind of go in every once in a while, I would say. Ours have the cold going in the bottom, hot coming out the top, blue and red. Obviously, they're labeled. And then there's the bypass valves. You're going to want to bypass your hot water tank. So all you need to do, I'll get on my hands and knees here, is take this knob and turn it so it faces the direction you want the water flowing. If you wanted the water to go into the tank, it would be facing the tank like that one is. If you want it to not, and I don't know why there's water coming out of it, not a lot, a dribble. That's something to look into. Just move these in line like so. So the water moves in line. So you want the valves facing in line to bypass the tank, because you don't need to. It's not necessary, but most hot water tanks are at least 6 gallons. So if you are winterizing with antifreeze, you'll need 6 extra gallons because this is going to get filled. I don't bother reattaching the access panel because you're just going to want to redo this all in the spring. So I just kind of put it there. We have pots and pans that'll hold it up, but don't bother screwing it back in there because you're just going to have to get it back in there the very first step next year. Every camper is going to be different. Ours has an outside access panel to the water pump, which is fantastic. Our last camper, the Avenger, the water pump was underneath the kitchen sink. So there was an access panel just inside the front door. The front door, it sounds like in my house. Just inside the door. This is a really nice setup because you don't have to be down on your hands and knees. You can do everything. I have to crouch over a little bit because I'm tall. But here's the water pump. And then here we have an inline water filter. It comes with the wrench, which is kind of a pain to get in there because it's bent a little bit, so I have to kind of push it out. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This part gets messy, and you probably want to get a couple towels. But you want to get the filter out of there and the water that's in there out of there before you start putting the antifreeze into the camper itself. We have an antifreeze inlet, which is really nice. The Avenger did not. It just had like a PEX hose. This isn't PEX, but it's flexible hose that you basically had to get a funnel and pour it into to get it started. It was kind of a pain. This is a really nice setup, and we have a really cool hose thing that we bought on Amazon, which I'm going to show you once we get to that point. What we need to do first is change the valve so the antifreeze can come in through the port. Right now it's set to off, so there's nothing that can come through this. We need to turn the valve to be in line with this hose where the antifreeze is coming in so we can get to the pump and pump it throughout the whole camper. I'm laying down some towels because this always gets wet every single time I do this. Now, the water filter wrench, you're coming from below. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is backwards, I think. I never get this right. You screw it on, yeah, counterclockwise, so you undo it clockwise, which I think is backwards. You get the teeth lined up with the grooves, and then you, yep, I was right. It's backwards. So you want to go clockwise to unscrew it, counterclockwise to screw it back in. This is going to be full of water. Oh, yep. They say to replace these every year. So that's what we're going to do. Of course, I have everything on my garbage can right behind me. Oh, want to dump it out. These come in 2 packs. We have a spare in the garage. But what we should do is order another 2-pack so we have it for the next time. In the garbage. Point. A trick I learned. This is going to get filled up with antifreeze when you do it. So what you could do, what I was told, is take an empty bottle of water, stick it in there so you're taking up the space so you're not filling this entire canister with antifreeze. Probably saves half a gallon maybe, but it's your money. Okie doke. I take the label off so there's no product placement. And then this sits right in there perfectly. And like I say, it just takes up some space so you're not filling this entire thing up with antifreeze. Okay, and then you want to counterclockwise it back on. Perfect. Then you can remove your towels. And don't forget that if you come and do this, you have to take the water bottle back out of there in the spring and put a new filter back in. Don't forget that if you don't sop up all the water, that's where the water came from. Don't try herding down a problem you don't have. So clean yourself up. Make sure you've got the water out of here. And always put this back so you never have to wonder where it is. Now for the exciting bit. It's a 3-foot long hose. This bit goes into the side. This bit screws onto your antifreeze and you just hold it up and let it flow. You don't have to worry about a funnel. You don't have to worry about anything coming out. It was maybe $10 or $15 on Amazon. We'll have the link for it below. Oh, so much fun. That's what you want to do. The hardest part is doing this one personally. Always get a friend, neighbor, spouse, significant other, whatever, to help you, because you need to go inside and turn all the faucets on. You can't do that while you're standing here holding up an antifreeze gallon thing. Attach it to, there we go, your antifreeze inlet. Make sure it's antifreeze inlet. You don't want to put it in your city water connection. You don't want to put it in your tank flush. We've got 3 separate things. Antifreeze inlet to antifreeze. Then you take your antifreeze. Make sure you get a hole punched into it. And then you take this. Screw down the top of the bottle. You gotta hold yourself up, and we're leaking. Just a little bit. So have your trusty assistant go inside and start turning on water.
First step, I need to turn on the water pump. Okay, next step, I need to turn on hot and cold water until it turns pink. Okay, it's pink, shut it off, turn it to hot, do the same thing. Okay, pink, turn it off. Same thing goes in the bathroom. Go hot. Pink. You may need to pause to change the antifreeze. That was 1 gallon already, so now we're on to the cold. Okay, it's pink. Then to the shower. Now, put this down so you're not spraying it all over the walls, but we have a shut off button on our water, so till it turns pink. Okay, hot off, cold on. Okay. Also, don't forget the toilet. You need pink stuff. There you go. Need a little in the tank. And you want a little bit around the seal. So hopefully next year we won't have to replace the seal on the toilet again. Next, we got to go to the outdoor shower.
If you have a nice tight seal, it's going to suck it right out of the bottle. Never forget your outdoor shower. That's one thing a lot of people do forget because they don't always use it. We hardly ever use the outdoor shower, but you want to make sure that there's antifreeze in those lines so those don't freeze either.
You just turned on the hot.
Yep, just shove it over. There you go.
There it goes.
Turn this pink. Turn off the hot. Turn on the cold. It's already pink. Sweet. And then make sure to always turn that back off. Otherwise, when you go to turn this on in the summertime, you're going to be in for a shock. So not even 2 gallons. But what we're going to do is take this and dump it in the toilet to kind of keep the valve seal fresh, I guess. As fresh as it can be. We've never done that before. And we had I don't want to say we had a failure, but our seal kind of wasn't working as how it should have. There's a video on that too. So that we're going to go and dump it in the toilet. Might as well just use it all up. Dump the whole thing in there. There's quite a bit in there already, but I don't want to save this. I don't know if it goes bad. There's an expiration date. Anyway, also want to mention this is non-toxic. So it is perfectly fine if there's some left over. If you get it in your drinking water, if you make coffee with it by accident, it will not harm you or the environment. So if you get it on the ground, which we have been, it's not going to contaminate water systems or anything. It's not going to hurt animals. It's completely safe for potable water systems. There we have it. I think even with filming, this took us less than a half an hour. So you could probably do it in 15 minutes if you just breeze through this nonstop. Do it yourself, folks.
Final note, don't forget to turn off the water pump.
You also want to clean out your hot water tank. We have a separate video for that, which is down below. Make sure you don't miss that. This one was just the antifreeze part. There's a lot more to go, but definitely watch that video too, because it's worthwhile. Don't pay the dealer. Do it yourself in your driveway. It's a piece of cake. So if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell so you can see other videos like this that you may or may not already know how to do. If you winterize your camper yourself, tell us how easy it is. If you've never done it before and you're going to try it after watching this, let us know that too. We'd love to hear from you guys. Leave us comments like crazy. We absolutely love it when you interact with us. We always try to answer every single comment that you leave, so please do. We love it. Have fun, and until next year, we can't say happy camping because it's in a deep sleep. Happy camping next year, folks.